Hey everybody, Jeremy here from Shade Tree Vintage Auto. Hey, very first thing, I just want to say thank you guys and gals for watching and supporting my videos. I really appreciate it. I can't believe the growth of my channel just in the short time I've had it. We're gonna come on 8,000 subscribers here really soon, and that's just super impressive. Anyway, thanks. If you haven't subscribed, I ask please do so. And be sure to hit that like button. Again, appreciate it. These adventures I'm going on are awesome. It's great to meet some of you guys and gals here in different places. I met quite a few people down at Matt's. Met a couple people up in Portland. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to be down at Van Nuys for Spring Fling, so maybe I can meet some of you guys there. Anyway, in this video we're going to talk about the ignition system and some other things. I want to have this car running today. I already have had it running. We're going to talk about the ignition system that was in it, which is the Mopar Performance, the new one. It's kind of crap, honestly. But anyway, let me lift the hood and we'll get going on it. Okay, as you can see, I've done some stuff since the last video. I did get the electronic ignition installed, the Mopar stuff. And so, for one, this awesome brand new orange box sure does look nice and shiny and pretty. It's junk, right out of the box. The distributor, it talks about in there to check your tolerances, everything. Man, they were so far off, it was ridiculous. I'm still not sure I'm going to even keep that distributor. We're going to see if it will start or run with the MSD, which I'm going to install. Should have just done that right in the first place. As you can see, the spark plug wires, these are Mopar spark plug wires, right? And they're supposed to be like direct replacement performance upgrade for the small block Chrysler. And I mean, you can even see they are branded Mopar. Well, look how tight they are, and there's no moving it around and trying to make them fit better or anything like that. They just fit too tight. It looks horrible. Really disappointed. And it's really sad because, you know, direct connections supposedly gonna make a comeback, the name anyway, Mopar, all of that stuff. But the stuff's just garbage right now, and it's really sad. I had to go pull a junk box off of one of my parts trucks, and it worked, you know, and that old rusty ugly box, I don't want that on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the 6AL. I bought a brand new one for the red truck, which you guys have seen before, and it's gonna get used here. So I've got the MSD 6AL, part number 6425. The Carter AFB that's on here, it's the original one. Great carburetor, but it needs rebuilt and everything. I have this Demon laying around. This is also a good carburetor. I'm just gonna put it on for now. That thing weighs a ton. I cannot believe how heavy that is for a carburetor. And then we've got some other parts I'm gonna put on. Really hoping to have the ignition system all worked out today and in order. And anyway, stay tuned. Okay, so what I did is I found a place where the box actually sits level and doesn't kind of rock. And then I initially marked out here so I knew where I was putting it, drilled the holes, cleaned it up, and then just marked where the holes are just for reference for when I install it. But you kind of want to make sure that it is level, and then it comes with little spacers that builds it up so that airflow can get under there. And it says very clearly in the instructions, make sure that the MSD box isn't right where a whole bunch of heat is. So that's probably about the best place, unless I wanted to move it clear to the trunk or somewhere inside. I did also change the distributor cap and rotor. Forgot to mention that for whatever reason, the cap that it came with and the rotor, as it was running or cranking over even, it was actually rubbing the carbon off, and so it was filling it full of dust. Really don't know what the issue was with it. Hoping that distributor will work sufficient once I get the MSD all installed. Okay, so I've got some things done and a couple other things I need to go get some more parts for. MSD box is mounted. I've got to run the wiring, figure out how I want to run it and shorten it up because there's a lot of excess. I need to figure out where I'm going to put a new ground cable that goes from the engine down to the chassis. And the Demon carburetor hits right here. I installed a stud kit instead of the bolts that it originally had, so that's going to work out great. I'm going to go get an inch plate there, put that on there, another gasket in the carburetor. It should work just fine. But really, it's coming along. I'm hopeful that we'll have it started here in a little while. Still need to make my spark plug wires, a couple other things, but it's looking good. So I made it back from town. Got the new base plate. It's a little Mr. Gasket plate. Put it on, got the carburetor just bolted down. Nothing else is done. I decided, since I need to replace the gaskets on the valve covers anyway, I would hurry and do that. I was going to do that in a later video when I go through and kind of do all the belts and hoses and everything and just show you what you need to do to start driving a car that's set for a while. But since the plug wires are off right now, it's just a nice simple installation. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, do the valve cover gaskets, and then I'll do the wires in a little bit, get everything wired up with the MSD, get the carburetor hooked up and ready, fuel line. But it is probably going to start raining on me, so I'm not sure how far I'll get today, but I'm going to go as far as I can. Anyway, stay tuned. When you're doing valve cover gaskets, always be sure to get everything really nice and clean on the valve cover and the head surface. That way there's a good seal. So valve covers are back on. I'm going to start doing the wiring. However, the rain, wind and stuff is starting. But essentially, this is the wire that comes with the MSD kit. And there's a lot of excess wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook it up like how it will be, and then I'm going to run the wires where they need to be, and then I will trim it and make it so it actually fits tight and looks good instead of having a ton of excess wire hanging all over. So that's what I'm going to work on now. Okay, so it's mostly wired up. I've got a couple other things I got to finish up. Just have to hook the red wire up, run the gray wire inside because that will go to a tachometer later. Everything else is tidied up for the most part. I'm going to probably do the spark plug wires now, and I'm going to be using these Excel Super Stocks. I've ran these since I was a little kid, so I love those yellow wires just for the nostalgia reasons. So they are cut to fit. So what I like to do is actually put them all on the spark plugs and set them all, like route them so they're sitting back there, and then I'll pull one at a time out, or I'll mark where I want to cut it first, pull it out, basically build it and then put it on, and it'll be done. Anyway, that's just kind of how I do it. Everybody has their own technique, but it's coming along nicely. That carburetor looks pretty cool on there, but I really do want to put the original Carter back on there. I'm not sure if the original air filter is going to fit on that carb, but I'll find out shortly. Really hoping that I can start it today, but like I said, that depends on the weather. Okay, so I've got the wires routed. Not quite perfect, but you know what? It will do for what I want. And it looks way better than the orange ones. When you're building those wires, use as much WD-40 as you want just for lubrication, because they are a pain to put the boots on and everything. In fact, some more than others for whatever reason. So use a ton of that, makes it way easier. And WD-40 is relatively cheap, so it's just way easier. Anyway, basically, I've just got to get the red wire off the MSD hooked up and do the fuel line and maybe fire it up. We'll see. Okay, it runs. Look at that. Still have a little tidying up to do on the wiring. A couple other things. I know it's idling really high. I've got to play with the carburetor quite a bit. Still have to hook the vacuum advance, everything up. But hey guys, it runs. No Name Nationals, here I come. So excited. Definitely needs some different mufflers, it's way too quiet. So I'm gonna skip around just a little bit in this video. Now, I know a lot of you guys, like me, want a little bit better headlight for your car, but you don't really want that cheap eBay headlight look. There's really not a lot of options for ones that you can put a different bulb in, have brighter bulbs, and they kind of look old school and just don't look cheap. So I went ahead and looked around, did some research, and I found these. They're Hella brand. H4 is what they're called. You can see the H4 in Hella. And they do have different, you can put different bulbs in, Sylvan or whatever brand bulbs. And it's going to be way brighter. It's going to look old school still and just have a good appearance. And so I just kind of wanted to show you guys this. Honestly, I bought these for Red, the Dodge truck, and that poor truck is getting kind of parted out for this Dart, but someday that truck will get built and I'll get all those new parts again. This car, I really want to get it ready for No Name Nationals. It's going to be driven a lot, so having good lights is very important. I also plan to go through and do LED everywhere as far as blinkers, brake lights, tail lights, and even the dash lights. Anyway, I'm going to get these installed and show you how they look. Well, here they are installed and even on. Look at that. These are the Hella H4s, like I stated. They run about 130 bucks, if I recall. Direct replacement. I mean, super easy install. This one was obviously missing the headlights before, but all I would have had to do was take the other headlights out, put these ones in. They fit perfectly. There's no trimming, nothing like that. They look so good as far as vintage and just accurate. Unlike a lot of those cheap eBay ones that really aren't that cheap, they're almost as much as these in some cases. You have to do trimming. They don't fit very easy and they just don't look good. These are glass lenses and they just look nice. Anyway, so enough on that. I didn't get near as much done this episode as I wanted to. I mean, we got it fired up. We got the MSD ignition in, different carburetor, even though it needs work. I've got a bunch of stuff ready so I can do the interior and everything. And that's probably going to be coming up pretty close to next. But like stated in the beginning of this video, hey, look at that. The marker lights just came on for some reason. Now it looks even better. Maybe we got a Christine situation going on here. But anyway, back to what I was saying. When this video goes live, I will actually be setting up at the 2022 Spring Fling in Van Nuys, California. Bringing a whole bunch of stuff. I hope to meet some of you guys and gals there. I've got all sorts of parts. I've got road signs, all sorts of stuff like that. Anyway, it's going to be awesome. Also going to be doing some video at a couple other places if all goes as planned. Anyway, Thanks again for watching. Please, if you haven't done so, like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to get this car ready for the No Name Nationals. Hope to see a bunch of people there. I challenged Sam from Old School Rides to get his dart ready and road trip it out there. Talking to a couple other people in the YouTube/Mopar community about doing a road trip from Ogden, Utah, out to the event in Missouri. If any of you guys want to join that possible road trip, that caravan, please let me know. Let's see what we can do. Anyway, thank you all, and have a wonderful day, and talk to you next time.